Hello, what's up? Welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm in a new channel. So if you don't know me, I'm 𝗙𝗪𝗪. All my links are going to be down in the description. But I don't want to spend too much time with that intro. Let's go straight to the point. I'm talking about Kaspa today. And I do have a very strong conviction into this one. And this is why I wanted to make my first live stream on this channel about it. And people that know me know that I found this one at like 1 cent. It went all the way to 20 cents over the course of 1 year, 1 year and a half. And obviously, like every sort of altcoin, it's been on a downward trajectory and in the last like 1 year or so. But right now, it's getting a lot of recognition and it's getting hype again. And this is why I want to emphasize why I do think that Kaspa can still make millionaires this cycle, especially if you buy at these levels that are still incredibly cheap. If you just open TradingView, you're going to be able to see a chart that has basically dominated the altcoin market over the bear market in 2022 and at the beginning of 2023. The majority of altcoins were dumping, right? Kaspa went to a new all-time high in July 2024 at like 20 cents or so. After that, it declined, obviously. And right now, obviously, after the big liquidation event, you can see that it's ranging right now in around the 5 cents. It's at a very critical support level after dumping at like 1 cent, like where everything was going to zero. And you guys know that. I mean, I don't need to talk about this story, but I think it's going to go through a new reversal very, very soon. And here I want to talk about why is Kaspa even trending right now? Why are people talking about Kaspa again? So I think that it all started a few days ago. If you guys don't know 𝗏𝗛𝗢 𝗨𝗪𝗏, he's the dev of Kaspa. He's the creator of Kaspa, and he's also into the top 100 of influencers into Binance 100. Okay, there's a lot of like researchers. There's basically a tier list of researchers on Binance, and 𝗏𝗛𝗢 𝗨𝗪𝗏 was at the very top of the list. So he got invited to a party in Dubai for like the celebration of the awards, and he basically declined his invitation just for one simple thing, because he doesn't support the fact of the direction of Binance with listing shit projects, let's name it, like a lot of meme coins. We saw the listing of 𝗙𝗃 and a lot of other meme coins after that over the years, but there's still a lot of big utility projects that are not being listed by Binance. And as you guys know, the listing on Binance, on Coinbase, is one of the big catalyst events that every kind of utility projects looks forward to, because that signifies, you know, the potential of very good price action. If we see the exchange listings of Kaspa, this is also why you might argue that we're still very early. Kaspa right now, I don't remember. Okay, it's number 58 spot for market cap out of the entire crypto market, number 58. However, I think that I would even argue that on the top 50, Kaspa is one of the only projects to not be listed neither on Coinbase nor Binance. This is a big deal. But why is Kaspa not being listed there? So 𝗏𝗛𝗢 𝗨𝗪𝗏 makes this distinction between commercial crypto, casino crypto, and cyberpunk crypto. I like this because it kind of summarizes the state of the trenches, the state of what exchanges are looking for projects. Commercial, you might call it, let's just call it like VC projects, something like 𝗙𝗲𝗄, like Say. And I also invest in those kind of projects. I'm not bearish on them, but let's just distinguish them for the sake of this conversation. Casino crypto, meme coins, or something that is extremely high risk, and cyberpunk crypto. Like, we could name this the utility projects that have a lot of voice, a lot of things to say, a lot of technology being built, a lot of utility, but perhaps they're kind of like the underdogs in this stage, okay? Binance should have a privilege policy for the latter. This has obviously not been the case for the past couple of years, and this is why Kaspa is still not listed there. And there was also a very controversial post. Wolfie, this guy is like one of the hype guys, is one of the people that are most vocal about talking about Kaspa, you know. And this guy just said to him, just pay the damn peanuts for the Binance listing, god damn it. And then peanuts would be $1 to $3 million, but they demanded 3% of the maximum supply of Kaspa. That was like $41 million to be listed on Kaspa. That is obviously insane, and I don't think that's going to happen. Also because Kaspa is fair launch. I'm also going to talk about the fundamentals of Kaspa if you guys are not aware of them, because they're actually very interesting. They solve the crypto trilemma. Let's go that in a second. 41 million. This is insane because obviously Binance has a very good story of like let's say, taking advantage of like listing these pump and dumps projects, meme coins, all the cabal, the crime type of thing. But the utility projects are really not shining through. And $41 million, I mean, it's no shit that Kaspa hasn't been listed there for now. But anyway, I also saw this other interesting thread that was actually from, no, it's not. No, wait, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, this one. This was actually from 2023, and I think it's a very good introduction. I just saw it randomly earlier when I was like doing some research, and it kind of summarizes what Kaspa is very, very accurately. So let's take a look. So first of all, Kaspa is a proof of work crypto. There's a lot of like, you know, proof of stake projects, which obviously they can be very good. They can have very good price action, but proof of work projects obviously require mining equipment, a big electricity bill, just like Bitcoin originated, and a lot of other projects today are proof of work. But obviously the big VC projects that you guys know and love, and perhaps you printed with, they are proof of stake. So there is obviously one thing, and it's also not a blockchain, it's a blockDAG. Let me see. Kaspa blockDAG. I want to just show you because it's probably easier to show you. But yeah, you see like here, a blockchain, everything happens like in a sequence, right? One block after the other, one transaction after the other. In a blockDAG, see it as like a big web in which from every point originate different other points, and all transactions occur simultaneously. This is way more efficient on mining, etc. And transactions are just way faster, and this makes a whole new conversation about a network that we could have about stable coins, about using Kaspa as an actual payment solution. And Kaspa is indeed a payment solution. Kaspa for now doesn't have smart contracts, but arguably doesn't even need them, because it's a payment solution. It was born as a payment solution. It's not privacy focused like something like Monero, but it's something like Bitcoin that is on the blockchain, is accessible, information is accessible to everyone, and it's just much faster, much more cost efficient, and it also solves the trilemma: decentralization, scalability, and security. Kaspa has it all. There's been all of these projects over the years that perhaps were very scalable but not very secure, or perhaps they were very secure but not that scalable. Okay, like Bitcoin is not scalable, or perhaps they were very centralized. Ethereum is centralized. There's an Ethereum foundation behind it, and so on and so forth. Sui has the Sui foundation. Kaspa is decentralized. Okay, so it solves the trilemma. Find me another crypto that actually solves the trilemma. This was one of the selling points of Kaspa, let's call it, and why Kaspa got a lot of traction in the first place, because people saw this as what actually was meant to be the original cryptocurrency, what the original vision of Satoshi Nakamoto was, of creating a project that was actually decentralized, scalable, secure, and that could actually be replacing fiat as a payment solution. This is so freaking important as a point, and this is probably why Kaspa created this big community, this big cult. Like, you guys remember Cardano maybe in the 2021 bull cycle. Kaspa is even worse. It's even worse in terms of community. It's crazy. Like, you might try. Don't even dare trying to say something negative about Kaspa. You're going to be attacked by thousands of people on X immediately. And this shows as power of the community. The community, these kind of calls that are so freaking delusional, are the ones that win in the end. So does Kaspa even need a Binance listing at this point? I don't know. Obviously, I would love to see it in terms of price action, but for a type of like community building that Kaspa has been building, perhaps it doesn't even need it. And if you see here, this the accurate real-time representation of the blockDAG. So I mean, just look at how fast it is and compare it to something like Bitcoin or Ethereum. With the recent update of this crescendo update, they reached 10 blocks per second. So again, super fast. Here you can see some of the technicalities if you guys are interested in that. There's also separate wallet, like the Caspian wallet is the one that I would recommend to store Kaspa. Otherwise, you can store it on something like Tangem if you like cold storage. I have a discount code that is just Cepryl. Just go on Tangem and type my username, Cepryl, and you're going to be able to get 10% off. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So fastest transaction, yes, instant confirmation, scalability, efficient proof of work, security, and blockDAG. And let's make some emphasis on the blockDAG concept, because there's very few blockDAGs out there, and the concept of blockDAG in and of itself is way more superior to the one of blockchain. So going back to the thread, yeah, the blockchain trilemma, obviously, I was just saying about that. Ethereum had a lot of scalability issues with their proof of work consensus mechanism. For the reason they moved to proof of stake. Yeah, that's correct. No, oh yeah, this is very, very important. So Kaspa, why can we say that Kaspa is fully decentralized? So first of all, not only there is not a foundation, a big entity, a big corporation behind it, but it was also not pre-mined. So there's a lot of other proof of work coins, even Bitcoin, there was a pre-mined supply. And what it simply means is that there was a lot of supply that was mined by their miners before the project was even listed or available for trading. The way that Kaspa originated is that there was no pre-mined supply, and as a result, all of the team members, all the community members, they needed to either mine it after the release or buy it on the open market on a centralized exchange after the project was already out. So again, this is not the case for the majority of currencies out there, the majority of cryptocurrencies out there. And this is why we can actually say that it's truly decentralized, because if we had pre-mined supply, there will still be some sort of allocation to insiders. And if there's an allocation to insiders, obviously we cannot say that the project is fully decentralized. Guys, let me know down in the comments what you think about Kaspa. If you also have any questions about it, let me know. And I would also encourage you to check out my own channel. It's linked down in the description. I have a playlist full of Kaspa videos, and I've been talking about Kaspa for the last couple of years. I have public record. I'm one of the only YouTubers to have a proven track record of buying that at like 1 cent and carrying it all the way through 20 cents. So check out my YouTube channel and you're gonna see way more of that and a lot of other projects that I'm buying. And I'm also dealing with a lot of meme coins that I trade on a daily basis with the private group that it's been printing money, whether the market is red or green, it doesn't freaking matter. All the links. Also, I have a free Telegram, my X profile. Guys, everything is down in the video description, so follow me on there, all right? And say what's up in the chat. I want to hear from you. Going back to it, yeah, I do believe that one of the biggest remarks that Kaspa got, and also why the Kaspa community went like so damn bullish from the very start, is because if you think about it, what were the top 50 crypto doing at the end of 2023 or beginning of 2024? Like, there was not a lot of things going on, right? We were still in the bear market. Look at Kaspa. Kaspa was able to just pull this off. I remember October 23 when, you know, your Cardano, Polygon, everything was just like tanking back then. And there wasn't exciting things in the field of meme coins. Pump Fund wasn't even around. Kaspa was able to just go to new highs, and the community formed because it was actually something driven by the people and not by, you know, big centralized exchange lists. And so I do believe that that was kind of what gave it just power in the first place. Let's see about other things. Yeah, about the tokenomics, I mean, the emission schedule is extremely low. I don't remember. Yeah, like the total supply, the circulating supply right now is 26 billion and the maximum supply is 28 billion. So obviously it's not even that inflationary. There's not going to be an insane amount of tokens that are going to be emitted from now on. And as a result, you know, you're not going to be subject to a massive price increase. If something like other cryptos that are proof of stake, they keep just printing money and printing token out of thin air, it could be the case that in just like a matter of months, the price is just going to tank because all the early investors and miners are going to take profits every time there's a token unlocks. The way that Kaspa is structured, I mean, fortunately, there's not going to be price crashes just because of token emissions. So that's very, very interesting. Where can you buy? Where can you buy Kaspa? I personally buy it on Bybit. And by the way, I have no affiliations with these exchanges, so I don't give a fuck about just recommending what or not. I use Bybit for the most part. I think that you can also, yeah, you can also buy it on Mex if you're looking for non-KYC exchanges. But guys, you're gonna be able to find something that, you know, whether it's with KYC required or not, you're gonna be able to find the centralized exchanges in which you can buy. That is not a problem. And what I also want to tell you guys is that the trading volume, this is very interesting. The trading volume has been increasing so that much. As soon as we saw that tweet by 𝗏𝗏 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, the trading volume of Kaspa increased by 300% in one single day. And from there, obviously, it just went down a bit because it was incredibly high just because of that announcement. But still, you can see that on a daily basis, it's still increasing day by day. But however, it's not going to have the trading volume of something like Solana or even ETH or a lot of like the big top 100 crypto. Why? Because Kaspa is not really seen as a crypto in which traders are looking for volatility to trade it, to do a lot of futures. I mean, some people are going to try to long it or short it. I'm not really doing futures trading with Kaspa. I focus on other projects. With Kaspa, I really see it as a long-term hold. If you start to understand really the technology behind Kaspa, you're probably not gonna, just look for volatility, look for a quick swing trade, because in the most cases you're gonna lose money, because the pumps of Kaspa historically have always first pump that came around in I don't know why I reloaded. I remember the first pump that happened in like 2023. Like, guys, like literally people were trying to swing trade and they were like, oh, Kaspa pump too much already. And then bam, from 5 cents, it went directly to 15 cents. I remember that clearly because that's like when I really started making a lot of money in crypto. And I was like, listen, I'm just holding it, because you can't trade an asset like this that has a cold community, because people really understand the utility of this. And just go on X, guys. Just go on X. If I just type Kaspa on X, let's just do this very quick experiment. Let's see what people are saying. If you have something to say about Kaspa, say it in the live chat. But I mean, obviously, yeah, a lot of talks about smart contracts. People are excited about that. But about the tweet of 𝗙𝗲𝗃 𝗨𝗪𝗃𝗃 right now, look at this reach. 2.3 million impressions, 8,000 likes, but 2.3 million impressions. It's been 4 days. 4 days, 2.3 million impressions in 4 days. What the fuck? Like, find me another project, another dev that tweets something like, not even 𝗏𝗏𝗏 from Solana does tweets like this. Yes. Oh my God. Ryan says price prediction by 2028. Ryan, honestly, if I could just give you a number and just yap about it, but I would be full of shit. I have no idea what the price prediction by 2028 is, nor do I have a price prediction for what 2027 could be. For 2026, we could argue that, listen, I do believe that we're still in a bull cycle. I do believe that altcoins are still going to go to new highs. So let's assume that we're going to have a high of the bull cycle in the first half of 2026, just hypothetically, okay? Because obviously the price action today is mainly driven by BlackRock, by, big companies, by governments, by whatever this big player, Michael Saylor, what they want to do with Bitcoin. So given that we don't have the potential to know when the bull market is really going to top, we are out of the 40-year cycle trajectory already. Let's just say that we top somewhere around the first half of next year. I believe that Kaspa from here could be going close to $1. Now, last year, you probably, if you were in the Kaspa sphere already, you will remember that people were just saying, oh, Kaspa to $5. There were YouTubers that came to fame because they were saying Kaspa is going to $10. That was obviously bogus, and that didn't happen, unfortunately. I wish it did, because I would be extremely rich right now. But I think that $1 is realistic, and with the recent dip, I mean, with the crash, 1 cent, it would have been 100x. That would be interesting, right? But from now, still 5 cents. Let's not say that it goes to $1. Maybe it goes to like 50 cents in a bearish scenario. If we have, like, provided that we have a good altcoin run, there will still be a 10x from here. I mean, just think about it. Like, the risk to reward ratio right now is insane. It doesn't even have to go to $1. If you're playing with size and you're entering at this very level at 5 cents, to me, the risk to reward is just insane. Okay, it's just insane. Obviously, it's not a meme coin that we're just putting like $100 and waiting for it to like 100x. It's a utility project. It's a solid project, and just buying right now. I mean, you remember, guys, if you were in crypto last year, do you guys remember how many people, Kaspa touched 20 cents and they were like, you're never going to be able to buy Kaspa at lower prices? Well, if those people are still around, they're probably looking at Kaspa as a very interesting and solid pick to just accumulate at this level. I don't think that we're going to go any lower from here. Obviously, the bounce from the liquidation event was insane, and we were able to, this is a very strong support area, okay? The 10-cent support area was incredibly strong. Obviously, the market did what it did, but the 5-cent mark is so incredibly strong. So obviously we need to reclaim this area, which I don't think is going to be that hard to do. And after that, there's obviously going to be a lot of resistance close to the previous all-time high. And after that, if we go to price discovery, I don't see why. I mean, we should at least go to 50 cents, in my opinion. And if we have a parabolic market, let's say that Bitcoin goes to 200K, Ethereum goes to like 10K or something like that. In that case, Kaspa is going to go to $1. And yeah, like without a shadow of a doubt. Okay, now, yeah, let's just go. I want to just see some tweets about Kaspa. What are people saying about Kaspa on crypto Twitter? Because I've already talked about the tech at the end of the day. There's not much else to say, but just see Kaspa as like the payment solution. It's not meant to replace Bitcoin. You should say it like this. See Bitcoin as like digital gold, as a pure store of value, because realistically, you're never going to go to like a bar and be like, okay, I'm going to pay with Bitcoin. It arrives instantly, right? Kaspa, digital silver, a means of payments. Bitcoin, digital gold, store of value. Kaspa, digital silver, an effective, efficient, and super fast means of payment digitally with crypto, with transactions that arrive literally instantly. Try to send Kaspa from your wallet to your friend's wallet or family friend wallet, whatever. It's going to arrive instantly, and the transaction is going to be a fraction of 1 cent. There's you can't say that about any other meme coin, every other altcoin. Sorry, even if you compare the speed with Solana, even with 𝗬𝗲 or 𝗧𝗪, like Kaspa is still the fastest blockchain out there. And why is that? Because Kaspa is not even a blockchain; it's a blockDAG. Interesting. Yeah, there's also, if you go on the Kaspa Explorer, you're going to be able to find a lot of wallets that have been accumulating since 2022 and haven't even sold. And that says a lot, because I don't think that you can find any other freaking process that do that. And listen, it's been 4 days. The timeline, look at the engagement that just random people are getting. Like this guy has 2,000 followers, 300 likes. 3% allocation deal. You can't negotiate fairness. I think that the sentiment is pretty clear about what people think about Kaspa in this very moment. Easy. Layer 1 smart contract with instant finality and almost zero fees. Well, that'll be interesting. Wow, no way. If you actually type Kaspa, there's this tweet of myself from 2023. That's interesting. So some of the wallets that you can see, yeah, if you can see here, a majority of the wallets are actually exchange wallets. However, the top one exchange, this is also like, I would be very interesting to hear your thoughts if you have any idea about it. But if you see the first address right there, it's 4% supply. We don't know who that is. A lot of people have been speculating that it was Binance over the years. A lot of people have been saying it was Coinbase. Honestly, we have no idea, but it's probably an exchange, or it could even be, if not something like Coinbase or Binance, it could even be like Maxi or another exchange that has like a side wallet, and they're just because you see an exchange listing right there, it doesn't necessarily, sorry, an exchange wallet right there, it doesn't necessarily mean that that exchange doesn't have any secret wallets, or that is just like secretly accumulating on other side wallets. All right. Also, if you're looking at the, yeah, man, like there's so many people that are this guy's so bullish on Kaspa. Yeah, it seems like people have like no idea what's coming. Like when you have this kind of quotes, conviction, it always ends one certain direction in the long term. It is kind of like the same. You guys remember XRP and they say the kind of commitment that they had? I mean, if you look at the chart of XRP did absolutely nothing for years. And then all of a sudden it went from like, yeah, look. You remember 1 year ago, XRP was like 50 cents. All of a sudden it went to $3. It did a 6x overnight. And I do believe that Kaspa is going to have a similar price action. It's going to do absolutely nothing for a bit. Although right now it's starting to like pick up steam. But at some point, bam, there's going to be like an epic pump like that. everybody's going to be sidelined, and all the people that missed out are going to be like, oh fuck, I actually missed like a generational entry in Kaspa. And I can guarantee you that when Kaspa goes to like 50 cents or $1, everybody's going to be interested in it. Okay, everybody's going to be speaking about it, but nobody wants to buy. It's basically human psychology. Nobody wants to buy when the red candles are around, when the price section is choppy, when you know, like obviously a chart like this for the average investor is not going to be interesting to buy, because obviously they're gonna like, oh, this is going to zero, oh, it's in the red, I'm not going to make money. But if you zoom in and you know, you saw a chart like this, and people were like entering at levels like this, they were like, oh, Kaspa is just gonna go higher and higher, it's never gonna correct and come down, I'm basically gonna become rich forever, right? Nobody's smarter than me. This is like human psychology. This is what every freaking trader does wrong. And I mean, if I could just look back in time, obviously I would have sold the top entirely, but I would have just bought everything right now. I think that if you missed Kaspa at like 1 cent 3 years ago, this is probably the second best moment to buy, like easily. I just don't see, it's impossible for me to just look at this and be like, this is a bad buy. Like, find me a chart that is bottomed out any better than this one. I can probably find another 3 or 4 in the top 100 of crypto. So this is why I keep accumulating at these levels. I've actually made a recent buy like in the last 3 days. So yeah, what is going to happen is that people are going to be talking about it constantly. The community is just heating up, and yeah, it just had its 4-year anniversary. So it's also not something that was born just yesterday. It's like 4 years, and the founder, the dev of Kaspa, is also like quoted into the Ethereum white paper. Is one of the most respected people in the crypto industry, honestly. So #1 influencer onto the top 100 researcher of Binance. Guys, I don't know. I can't tell if like exchange listings are gonna come as a summary. I don't know. I don't know if Coinbase is going to come. I don't know if Binance is going to come. And even though they're obviously looking for like this multiple 8-figure fees to list on them, they're probably missing out on a lot of trading volume and a massive impact that it could have on the market if they were to list those projects. But at the end of the day, time will tell, one, if they're going to list those projects, and second, if a project like Kaspa does even need a big tier 1 exchange listing, because for now we don't know. But what I can say is that the price action to me is going to be parabolic. As I said, we're probably going to see, if in a bearish scenario, I will see this next year at 50 cents, and in a bullish scenario, I will see this in $1. In the upcoming months, I'm gonna obviously make follow-up videos on this. I'm gonna tell you also how my trades are looking into this end. But when it comes to like my top convictions and you know, what I'm holding in spot and I'm just like buying and forgetting about it, like I've been doing for the last 2 years, Kaspa is sitting on top of the list. So I'll see you on the next time, and I'm going to talk more about some of the utility projects that I'm accumulating. Let me know down in the comments what you think of Kaspa, if you're accumulating. If you have any questions, let me know now, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.